JSTOR is a digital library founded in 1995. Originally containing digitized back issues of academic journals, it now also includes books and primary sources, and current issues of journals. It provides full-text searches of almost 2,000 journals. More than 8,000 institutions in more than 160 countries have access to JSTOR. Most access is by subscription, but some older public domain content is freely available to anyone, and in 2012 JSTOR launched a program providing no-cost access to 3 items, older articles, for a period of 14 days for individual scholars and researchers who register. History: JSTOR's founder was William G. Bowen, the president of Princeton University from 1972 to 1988. JSTOR was originally conceived to be a solution to one of the problems faced by libraries, especially research and university libraries, due to the increasing number of academic journals in existence. Most libraries found it prohibitively expensive in terms of cost and space to maintain a comprehensive collection of journals. By digitizing many journal titles, JSTOR allowed libraries to outsource the storage of these journals with the confidence that they would remain available for the long term. Online access and full-text searchability improved access dramatically. JSTOR was initiated in 1995 at 7 different library sites, and originally encompassed 10 economics and history journals. JSTOR access was improved based on feedback from its initial sites, and it became a fully searchable index accessible from any ordinary web browser. Special software was put in place to make pictures and graphs clear and readable. With the success of this limited project, Bowen and Kevin Guthrie, then president of JSTOR, were interested in expanding the number of participating journals. They met with representatives of the Royal Society of London, and an agreement was made to digitize the philosophical transactions of the Royal Society back to its beginning in 1665. The work of adding these volumes to JSTOR was completed by December 2000. JSTOR was originally funded by the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation, and until January 2009, was an independent, self-sustaining not-for-profit organization with offices in New York City and Ann Arbor, Michigan. Then, JSTOR merged with a non-profit Ithaca Harbors, Incorporated. Ithaca is a non-profit organization founded in 2003 dedicated to helping the academic community take full advantage of rapidly advancing information and networking technologies. Content: JSTOR content is provided by more than 900 publishers. The database contains more than 1,900 journal titles in more than 50 disciplines. In addition to the main site, JSTOR's Labs group operates an open service that allows access to the contents of the archives for the purposes of corpus analysis at its Data for Research service. This site offers a search facility with graphical indication of the article coverage and loose integration into the main JSTOR site. Users can create focused sets of articles and then request a dataset containing word and n-gram frequencies and basic metadata. They are notified when the data set is ready and can download it in either XML or CSV formats. The service does not offer full text, though academics can request that from JSTOR subject to a non-disclosure agreement. JSTOR Plant Science is available in addition to the main site. JSTOR Plant Science provides access to content such as plant type specimens, taxonomic structures, scientific literature, and related materials and aimed at those researching, teaching or studying botany, biology, ecology, environmental and conservation studies. The materials on JSTOR Plant Science are contributed through the Global Plants Initiative and are accessible only to JSTOR and GPI members. 2 partner networks are contributing to this, the African Plants Initiative which focuses on plants from Africa and the Latin American Plants Initiative which contributes plants from Latin America. JSTOR launched its Books at JSTOR program in November 2012, adding 15,000 current and backlist books to its site. The books are linked with reviews and from citations in journal articles. Access: JSTOR is licensed mainly to academic institutions, public libraries, research institutions, museums and schools. More than 7,000 institutions in more than 150 countries have access. JSTOR has been running a pilot program of allowing subscribing institutions to provide access to their alumni, in addition to current students and staff. The Alumni Access Program officially launched in January 2013. Individual subscriptions are also available to certain journal titles through the journal publisher. Every year, JSTOR blocks 150 million attempts by non-subscribers to read articles. Swartz incident. In late 2010 and early 2011, Internet activist Swartz used MIT's data network to bulk download a substantial portion of JSTOR's collection of academic journal articles. When discovered, JSTOR stopped the download, identified Swartz, and rather than pursue a civil lawsuit against him, in June 2011 reached a settlement wherein he surrendered the downloaded data. The following month, federal authorities charged Swartz with several data theft-related crimes, including wire fraud, computer fraud, unlawfully obtaining information from a protected computer, and recklessly damaging a protected computer. Prosecutors in the case claim that Swartz acted with the intention of making the papers available on P2P file-sharing sites. Swartz surrendered to authorities, pleaded not guilty to all counts, and was released on $100,000 bail. In September 2012, U.S. attorneys increased the number of charges against Swartz from 4 to 13, with a possible penalty of 35 years in prison and $1 million in fines. The case was still pending when Swartz committed suicide in January 2013. Limitations. The availability of most journals on JSTOR is controlled by a moving wall, which is an agreed-upon delay between the current volume of the journal and the latest volume available on JSTOR. This time period is specified by agreement between JSTOR and the publisher and is usually €5 years. Publishers can request that the period of a moving wall be changed or request discontinuation of coverage. Formerly, publishers could also request that the moving wall be changed to a fixed wall a specified date after which JSTOR would not add new volumes to its database. As of November 2010, fixed wall agreements were still in effect with 3 publishers of 29 journals made available online through sites controlled by the publishers. However, in 2010, JSTOR started adding current issues of certain journals through its current scholarship program. Increasing public access. Beginning September 6, 2011, JSTOR made public domain content freely available to the public. This early journal content program constitutes about 6% of JSTOR's total content, and includes over 500,000 documents from over 200 journals that were published before 1923 in the United States and before 1870 in other countries. JSTOR stated that it had been working on making this material free for some time, but that the Swartz controversy and Greg Maxwell's protest torrent of some of the same content led JSTOR to press ahead with the initiative. In January 2012, JSTOR announced Jstor and Read, an experimental program to offer free access to some articles for individual scholars and researchers who register. It allows individuals to read articles online, but not to download PDFs. The program initially includes access to old articles in 70 journals that account for 18% of user demand. Registered readers can read 3 articles every 2 weeks. Articles less than 3 years old are not included in the program. In January 2013, JSTOR announced it was expanding the number of articles available through Jstor and Read. Inquiries have been made about the possibility of making JSTOR open access. According to Harvard law professor Lawrence Lessig, JSTOR had been asked, "How much would it cost to make this available to the whole world? How much would we need to pay you?" The answer was $250 million. Usage. In 2012, JSTOR users performed nearly 152 million searches, viewed over 113 million articles, and downloaded more than 73.5 million articles. JSTOR has been used as a resource for linguistics research to investigate trends in language use over time. See also, List of academic databases and search engines, Swartz JSTOR, Aluka, Artstor, ARZiv, Digital Preservation, Project Muse, Japanese Historical Text Initiative, References. Further reading